Railroading was an important industry for Pennsylvania since the 19th century. In this video, I will go over every locomotive in the yard at the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania. Also, please note that the video and photos are not mine. I will leave a link to the original video. Also, this video isn't meant to shame the museum. The first locomotives I will be going over are the diesel and electric Baldwin Locomotive Works No. 1200S, 12-switcher built in 1951 in Philadelphia, originally being assigned to the U.S. Navy. It would later 1200 would be assigned to East Earl in New Jersey. 1200 would be given to the museum in 1991. Next locomotive is Maryland and Pennsylvania No. 81, built in 1946. 81 operated between York, Pennsylvania and Baltimore. In the 1980s, 81 was sold to the Glatfelter Paper Company, later being gifted to the museum in 1997. Lehigh Valley No. 40, built in 1951. 40 was put into service in August of 1951. There isn't much about Lehigh Valley No. 40. 40 was retired in 1981 after working for SEPTA. Now it is time for the electric locomotives. Pennsylvania 3936 and 3937 were built in 1911. The reason why DD1 class was created was because the Pennsy had opened up their own station. Tunnels were dug under the Hudson and steam trains produced too much smoke, and so steam locomotives were banned from the tunnels. 3936 and 3937 were retired in 1968. Pennsy 4800 GG, 1 built in 1934. 4800 was the GG1, the first ever built. This paved the way to become known as the most successful electric locomotive ever built, but now 4800 sits outside the museum in a coat of primer. 4800 was retired in 1980. Amtrak No. 603 of the E60 class resigns at the museum. Built in 1975, the E60 were some of the first electric locomotives Amtrak would own on the Northeast Corridor after Penn Central fell. The E60s were retired in the 1990s. Years do vary. Amtrak No. 915, built 1979 by Electromotive Div of General Motors in LaGrange, Illinois. Prior to the adoption of the AEM-7, there was little in the way of new electric locomotives in the United States. The E60 was the newest, but sadly it would not prove to be an apt replacement for the GG1. With that reality in mind, in late 1970s, Amtrak turned to Europe and their long history of electric rail service for the next successor. One of the most successful examples they turned to was built by Allmänna Elektriska Aktiebolag, ASEA, of Sweden, and with some adaptation for the North American railroads, the AEM-7 was chosen. Moving on to the steam locos. PRR 520. Built 1916 by Baldwin Locomotive Works. Retired 1957. By the turn of the century, trains became longer, heavier, and schedules demanded faster transportation of goods. Thus it soon became obvious that a larger, more powerful, but not necessarily faster locomotive was needed. That more powerful next step was the 282 Mikado class, which proved more than capable to carry on the work of the consolidations. The L1 locomotives were not only able to haul heavy trains, but could also hustle lighter loads at speeds of 50 miles per hour and better, a remarkable feat for a freight engine weighing in at 314,000 pounds with a hand-fired boiler. L1s served well until the end. PRR 1670. Built 1916 by Pennsylvania Railroad, Juniata Shops, Altoona, Pennsylvania. Retired 1957. The addition of the Pennsylvania Railroad signature Bel Pair firebox, superheaters, and power reverse lever made this B6SB switcher one of the most modern, powerful, and efficient 0-60s anywhere. The B6 class as a whole was the most successful of what the Pennsylvania Railroad called their shifters. Like most switching engines, No. 1670 led a career of little excitement, but great importance. PRR 3750. Built 1920 by PRR Juniata Shops. Retired 1958. When thinking about the Pennsylvania Railroad, the two locomotives that generally come to mind are the GG1s and the K4s. K4S locomotives are the result of the PRR searching for more powerful and efficient locomotives to be their new standard passenger power. The K4S specifics blended the best attributes of other successful. PRR 6755. Built 1930 by Juniata Shops at Altoona, Pennsylvania. Retired 1957. When anyone lays eyes upon the huge mass of engineering that is the M1B, they are seldom surprised to find the name Mountain is a part of the title for this behemoth. PRR 7688. Built 1915 by Lima Locomotive at Lima, Ohio. Retired 1957. This steam locomotive represents the culmination in development of the most numerous general type of steamer on American railroads, the consolidation. The heaviest and most powerful consolidation built for the Pennsylvania Railroad were the H-10 class engines. The H-10 could exert 26 tons of forward pull, which meant the newer engine could handle trains over the line more than 2.5 times bigger than its predecessor.